वेलकम टू द फिफ्थ एपिसोड ऑफ दिस वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट जेईई मेंस क्वेश्चन सीरीज। आज भी हम कुछ और अच्छे क्वेश्चंस सॉल्व करेंगे, डिस्कस करेंगे। लेकिन आज से एक और नई चीज मैं इंट्रोड्यूस करने जा रहा हूँ। हर वीडियो के एंड में मैं 4 चैलेंज क्वेश्चंस लिखूंगा, ठीक है, जिन्हें आप सॉल्व करने की कोशिश करोगे और सॉल्व करने के बाद आप उनके जो भी आंसर्स आते हैं वो आप अपने मेरे कमेंट सेक्शन में आप लिखोगे, ठीक है। अगर आप चाहते हो कि इनमें से कोई क्वेश्चन मैं सॉल्व करूं तो वो भी आप वहाँ पे सजेशन दीजिए। और अगर मुझे लगता है कि इनमें से कोई क्वेश्चन मुझे अगर सॉल्व करके आपको दिखाना है तो मैं अपनी आने वाली वीडियोस में उसको सॉल्व करके दिखाऊंगा। अगर आप जेईई मेंस की तैयारी कर रहे हैं तब भी आप वो क्वेश्चंस अटेम्प्ट करिए, और अगर आप जेईई एडवांस की तैयारी कर रहे हैं तब तो आप डेफिनेटली वो क्वेश्चंस अटेम्प्ट करिए, ठीक है। सो लेट्स गेट स्टार्टेड विद टुडेज लेक्चर। सो फ्रेंड्स, लास्ट वीडियो में हमने क्वेश्चन नंबर 16 तक डिस्कस कर लिया था। लेट अस स्टार्ट विद टुडेज फर्स्ट क्वेश्चन, क्वेश्चन नंबर 17। Find the maximum value of 4 upon 5 cos square theta plus 3 sin theta cos theta plus sin square theta where theta is a real number. So we are starting today's lecture with a question on trigonometry. Okay, so how do we get the maximum value of this function is what is required. Now first thing which you should observe is ऊपर क्या आ रहा है, constant, ठीक है। constant तो हमेशा फिक्स रहेगा, भले थीटा कुछ भी रख लो। इसका मतलब आपको किससे मतलब है, इस नीचे वाले फंक्शन से मतलब है, right? So let me assume that this function is, let us say, f of theta. And that function is 5 cos square theta plus 3 sin theta cos theta plus sin square theta. जो भी नीचे आ रहा था उसको मैंने f theta मान लिया. This is a function of theta. Now, if I want the maximum value of the whole expression, that means I want the minimum value of the denominator. क्योंकि minimum का reciprocal करेंगे तो value कैसी आएगी, maximum. इसका मतलब मेरे को इस expression f theta की क्या चाहिए, minimum value चाहिए, ठीक है। अब ये एक स्टैंडर्ड कैटेगरी का क्वेश्चन है जहां पे हर टर्म की डिग्री कितनी है, 2, ठीक है। और जब भी आपके पास साइन कॉस में एक्सप्रेशन हो और डिग्री उसकी 2 हो तो तरीका क्या होता है, कन्वर्ट इनटू डबल एंगल्स, ठीक है। द ट्रिक दैट वी यूज इज कन्वर्ट इनटू डबल एंगल्स. Some would say that we can differentiate, but that is a linear method. The best way of doing such a problem when you have degree in 2 in sin cos, convert into double angles. Now if you convert it into double angles, what do you get? Now see, डबल एंगल्स मतलब क्या हो गया, cos स्क्वायर थीटा को हम क्या लिखते हैं, 1 plus cos 2 थीटा by 2, राइट, 1 plus cos 2 थीटा by 2, और इधर 3 by 2 sin 2 थीटा लिख सकते हैं, 2 sin थीटा cos थीटा is sin 2 theta, so this is sin 2 theta by 2. And if you look at this sin square theta, it is 1 minus cos 2 theta by 2. So I have converted everything in terms of double angles. Now if I take the LCM comes out to be 2. What do I get here is 5 plus 5 cos 2 theta. What do I get here is 3 sin 2 theta. And then here what you get is 1 minus cos 2 theta. So this is what is left with me. Which if I simplify, I get 5 minus 1, that is 4 cos 2 theta, okay, plus 3 sin 2 theta, plus 5 plus 1, which is 6 divided by 2. So this is what is left with me. This is what is my f of theta. I have just simplified it. Now what is the advantage of converting into double angles? Now if you observe this expression, this particular expression is now a linear in sin cos. So now we are left with a degree 1 expression, okay. And when we have a degree 1 expression of the form a sin x plus b cos x, then what is the minimum value of such an expression? The minimum value is minus under root of a square plus b square. That must be known to you. So this is the minimum value of this expression. Only thing is the angles should be same. So now here just see the angles are same. Doesn't matter theta hai ya 2 theta. The angles are same. So I can write the minimum value of this expression. Remember I wanted the minimum value of this f theta. So what do I get the minimum value of this expression? Let me write it like this. F minimum. Okay, I'm finding out f minimum. So I need to write the minimum value of this. Why? Because the other things are constant. Okay, what is the minimum value of this? Minus under root of 4 square plus 3 square plus 6 upon 2. बाकी सब चीजें as it is. Only this becomes the minimum. Okay, so this comes out to be what? 25. 25 का root is 5, so minus 5 plus 6 by 2. So 6 minus 5 is 1 by 2. So what I get is the minimum value of the denominator comes out to be 1 by 2. But this is not my answer. I need to replace it here to get the overall maximum value. So overall maximum value which I wanted, maximum value, okay, will be 4 divided by the minimum value of denominator, which is half. So 4 divided by half, how much do you get? 8. So what is the maximum value of this expression? It is 8. Well, let's see the next question. Question number 18.
if the line x minus 1 by 1 equal to y minus 1 by 2 equal to z minus 1 by 2 intersects the plane 3x minus y plus z equal to lambda at a distance of 6 units from the point P 1 comma 1 comma 1, find lambda. So you need to find the value of lambda, right? Now it comes from the house of 3D geometry. So it's an average question. Now see how do you deal with it. सबसे पहले क्या दे रखा है, एक लाइन है, लाइन प्लेन को कहाँ मीट करती है, किसी पॉइंट पे मीट करती है जो कि 6 यूनिट्स डिस्टेंस पे है फ्रॉम दिस पॉइंट 1 1 1. नाउ द फर्स्ट थिंग which should strike your mind is, what about this point? This is the same point as the point on this line 1 1 1. Okay, it is the same point. Now whenever you are given a point on this line, see this is my straight line whose equation is given to me. I am given a point on it P which is 1 comma 1 comma 1, and this line is intersecting a plane. Okay, suppose this is intersecting some plane at, let us say, this point. Okay, and this point is at a distance of what from this point? It is 6 units. So this distance is given to you as 6 units, and this is your point Q which lies on the plane, which is the point of intersection. So this is exactly how the figure looks. Okay, so whenever we are given a variable point whose distance from a fixed point is known, okay, the best way of doing this question is you take the straight line. Okay, write the symmetric equation of the straight line which is given to you. Okay, now if you remember, any point on this line can be taken by assuming this to be equal to t, and then we can write like x y z as shifting it here, and we get the coordinates of this point q. But then we'll have to apply distance formula on these two to get it equal to 6. To avoid that distance formula, what I am doing here is I am not assuming this as t. The shorter way of doing it is convert these drs into dc's. And always verify the line must be in standard form. That means the coefficients of x, y, z should be positive 1. So that of course we have verified that all the coefficients are positive 1. In that case, these are the drs. If these are the drs, we can convert them to dc's by dividing by their magnitude. So what is the magnitude of the vector 1 2 2? The magnitude of the vector 1 2 2 is 1 square plus 2 square plus 2 square, which is 3. 8 plus 1 9. 9 ka root is 3. So that we divide all of these by 3. So what I get is x minus 1 by 1 by 3. Y minus 1 by 2 by 3 and z minus 1 by 2 by 3. So I get this as the equation of the straight line. No matter I write this or this, it is exactly the same because these are also drs. But now these drs become dc's. Now if I assume it to be equal to t, this t directly gives me the distance between these 2 points. So if I write dc's here, this t directly is the distance of this point from this point. But of course for that this point should be exactly the same as this point which is given on the line. If this is some other point, then you will do by the normal procedure, by assuming it to be t and applying the distance formula. So if this point is given to us, then no need of doing all that. I'll simply assume this t to be equal to what? 6, because the distance is given to me as 6. Now of course, one may argue that there will always be two such points. One point is on this side of P, the other point could be on this side of P, because we do not know on which side is the plane. Okay, so we'll always have two possible answers for this. Alright, so let me first solve it using 6. Then of course you can also solve it using minus 6. Okay, so let me solve it using 6. If I solve it using 6, what I get is this is equal to 6. So what is x equal to? It is 6 into 1 by 3 plus 1. What is y equal to? It is 6 into 2 by 3 plus 1. What is z equal to? It is 6 into 2 by 3 plus 1. So I get this. Okay, now this comes out to be what? 2 plus 1, 3. So x is 3. This comes out to be y equal to 4 plus 1, 5. And this is z equal to 4 plus 1, that is also 5. So I get the coordinates of q. Okay, the coordinates of q come out to be 3, 5, 5. These are the coordinates of q. Now it is known to me that q lies on the plane, so it should satisfy the equation of the plane. The equation of the plane is given to us. Satisfy this point in the equation of the plane. So I am substituting this in 3x minus y plus z equal to lambda. Okay, so let me substitute this point in this. What do I get? 3 into 3, 9. Okay, minus 5 plus 5 is equal to lambda. So what is the possible value of lambda that we get? 9. Okay, so of course similarly you can solve it for minus 6 also. So you'll always have two answers in this. So whichever answer is given in the options, we'll take that answer. So in this particular question, okay, assuming that one of the options was 9, my solution ends here. If it is not there, then of course I'll solve it for minus 6 as well. But you have to understand the method. Exactly this is how you have to proceed. No need of assuming this to be t and then applying distance formula. You can avoid that. So this form we call as the distance form of a straight line in 3D. Well, let's see the next question. Question number 19. If slope of one of the lines represented by the equation 3x square minus kxy plus 5y square equals to 0 is square of the other. Find k cube minus 45k. So you have to find the value of this particular expression. What is the information with us? Slope of one of the lines is square of the other. So what equation is given to us? We are given a homogeneous equation. Right? It's a homogeneous equation of second degree. And homogeneous equation of second degree represents a pair of straight lines through origin. Okay. Now whenever the relation in slope is required for a homogeneous equation, what you should do is you should divide by the highest power of x. Divide by the highest power of x. As soon as you divide by the highest power of x, it gets converted to slope. Okay. So let me divide by x square here. So dividing by x square, what do I get? I get 3 minus k y by x plus 5 y square by x square equal to 0. Okay. Now since I know that it represents a pair of straight lines through origin, so y by x can be replaced by m, because y equal to mx is the equation of a straight line through origin, where m is the slope. So I can replace y by x by m, and therefore this becomes a quadratic in m. What does it become? 5m square minus km plus 3 equal to 0. So what I've got is, I've got a quadratic equation in the slopes now. So that is exactly how you convert a question on a pair of straight lines to a question on quadratic. So it's basically a question of quadratic. Now what is given to us? Slope of one of the lines is square of the other. So that means this quadratic will have two roots, which are the two slopes, and one of those slopes is the square of the other. So let me assume one of these slopes as alpha. In that case, the other slope has to be alpha square, because one of the slopes is square of the other. So now I simply have to use the sum of roots and product of roots. So what about the sum of roots? Alpha plus alpha square. It is minus b by a. So it becomes k by 5. And what about the product of roots? Alpha into alpha square, which is alpha cube, which comes out to be c by a, which is 3 by 5. So I got the value of alpha cube as 3 by 5, and I got the value of alpha plus alpha square as k by 5. Now what is required? Just have a look at it. You require k cube. In order to get k cube, let me cube this equation. Okay, let me cube this equation. Before doing that, let me take alpha common from these two. So I can write it as alpha 1 plus alpha. And now let me cube it. If I cube it, what do I get? Alpha cube 1 plus alpha whole cube is equal to k cube upon 125. This is what I can write. Alright, now have a look at this equation. Alpha cube, you know what is alpha cube, right? What is alpha cube? 3 by 5. So let me write here 3 by 5. Expand this 1 plus alpha whole cube. We get a cube plus b cube plus 3ab a plus b. Is that okay? Right? What do we get? Again have a look at it. A cube plus b cube plus 3ab. 3ab is 3 alpha into a plus b. That's 1 plus alpha. So I get this much is equal to how much? K cube by 125. So this much I've got. Now again have a look at this. What is alpha cube? It is 3 by 5. What is alpha 1 plus alpha? Have a look here. What is alpha 1 plus alpha? It is k by 5. So replace alpha 1 plus alpha by k by 5 here. So what is the equation with us now? It becomes, okay, one more thing, I can cancel this 5 with this 125. I can write it as 25. And let me cross multiply this 25 on this side. So 25 into 3, 75 into 1 plus, what is alpha cube? 3 by 5. What is this? 3 multiplied by alpha 1 plus alpha, which is k by 5. So 3 multiplied by k by 5 is equal to how much? K cube. This 25 we have already taken on this side. So this is what is left with me. Now let me try to simplify it further. So what I get now is 75 multiplied by, let me take LCM. What is the LCM? LCM is 5. Here what I get is 5 plus 3 plus 3k is equal to k cube. Right? This 5 cancels with this 75, 15. Now what I am getting is 15 multiplied by, what do you get here? 8 plus 3k. Right? Is equal to what? K cube. Let's multiply this. 15 into 8 is 120 plus 45k is equal to k cube. Shift 45k on that side, you get k cube minus 45k, which is exactly what was required in the question, is equal to what is left on this side? 120. So what is the answer to this question? It's 120. Well, let's move on to the next question. Question number 20. Tangents drawn from a point P lying on the line 3x minus y minus 7 equal to 0 to the parabola y square equal to 8x are perpendicular. Find the distance of P from origin. So it's a question from parabola. So let us first see what is given to us. The parabola given to us is y square equal to 8x, which resembles y square equal to 4ax with the value of a as 2. Okay, so it's a standard parabola, right? Now we are also given that tangents drawn from a point P lying on this line. There is a line given to us 3x minus y minus 7 equal to 0, and on it we are taking a point P and then drawing tangents to this parabola. So obviously we can draw two tangents, and those two tangents are perpendicular. Now as soon as you read that tangents drawn to a parabola are perpendicular, immediately what should come to your mind is directrix. We know that perpendicular tangents intersect on directrix. This is the property which has to be used in this question, and then it becomes a very simple question. So tangents, if perpendicular tangents are drawn to a parabola, they will always intersect on directrix. That means whatever was this point P will definitely lie on the directrix. Okay, plus this point P is also lying on this line. That means what is this point P basically? A point P is lying on the directrix. Okay, a point P is also lying on this straight line. So obviously this point is point P, which is the point of intersection of these two lines. This is the given line, this is the directrix. So their point of intersection is what is the point P. So we need to simply solve this line with the directrix of this parabola. And what is the directrix equation? It is x equal to minus a. This is the equation of directrix. What is a here? 2. So I need to solve this line with x equal to minus 2. That is all. I need to solve these two. The point which I get is the point P. So let's solve it. So x तो आ ही गया minus 2. यहाँ पे रख देते हैं. So let us substitute x equal to minus 2 in this. What do we get? Minus 6 minus y minus 7 is equal to 0. So what is y equal to? Minus 13. So I have got x as minus 2, y as minus 13. That means what is my point P? It is minus 2 comma minus 13. Now what is he asking us? He is asking us the distance of P from origin. So I need to find the distance of this point from origin. And I know that distance of any point from origin is x square plus y square. So what I'll get is 2 minus 2 ka square is 4, minus 13 ka square is 169. So the answer to this question becomes under root of 173. Okay, next question. Question number 21. What is required? Complete domain of a function fx is given to you 1 upon under root of x to the power 12 minus x to the power 9 plus x to the power 4 minus x plus 1 under the root. Okay, you need to find the complete domain of this. I have given you the options also. Okay, the options are a is minus infinity to minus 1, b is 1 to infinity, c is minus 1 to 1, d is r, all real numbers. Now when the question is asking you complete domain, okay, so you have to be very careful about this word complete. Because if suppose, let us assume that the answer is R, let us say, suppose the answer is R, then it will satisfy all these as well. Okay, so you cannot say कि sir R answer आ रहा है तो सारे correct है. सारे correct नहीं है because उसने complete domain पूछा है. Complete domain से R हुई. ठीक है? So that was just an example. So therefore you have to always note this word complete. If complete was not written, then domain could have been all of these if R was correct. Okay, so be clear about the word complete. Now how do we proceed with this question? So what we are given a function which is firstly reciprocal, and we know that reciprocal, that means the denominator cannot be 0. Secondly, inside the root it is given, so it cannot be negative as well. So in order for this function to be defined, I know that x to the power 12 minus x to the power 9 plus x to the power 4 minus x plus 1 has to be greater than 0 at all times. Otherwise this function will not be defined. Firstly it must be positive, secondly it cannot be 0 because it is in the denominator. So that is exactly what I need to solve. Okay. Now, if I solve this expression, so inequality, sorry. So if you just look at this inequality, the first thing which is very clear is that, look at the first option. The first option is dealing with all negative numbers. Okay, it is definitely dealing with all negative numbers. If I suppose that x is less than 0, let me take the first case where x is less than 0. Okay, if I put any x negative here, see power 12 is even, it will always be positive. x9 will become negative because x is negative, odd power. Minus minus becomes plus, so this becomes positive. Okay, if you look at this, it is already positive, even power. If you look at this, this becomes positive because x is negative and 1 is already positive. So every term becomes positive or not, and therefore I will say that definitely my let me call this particular function as gx. Let us call this as gx. Okay, so I can definitely say that if x is negative, it will definitely imply that gx is positive. And that is true for the entire domain of x less than 0. That means x less than 0 is definitely my solution. X less than 0 is definitely satisfying this particular domain. So no doubt that A is definitely the answer, but it is not the complete domain because the complete domain would have been x less than 0 if we are not getting anything else. So this is anyway out. Okay. Now let us move ahead. We've already taken care of the negative numbers. Now let us go to the next domain, which is say x is between 0 to 1. Okay, let me take the next interval as 0 to 1. Let me take this interval 0 to 1. Okay, so when I know that x is between 0 to 1, that means my x is less than 1 but it is positive. Let me look at this particular function now. Now of course I cannot directly say anything because I know that this is positive, 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 but there is a negative sign here. So I cannot say that 100% that it will be positive. For that I will have to regroup terms in such a way that I get positive. So just see this regrouping now. I am given x is between 0 to 1. That means immediately by seeing this I know that 1 minus x would always be positive. Wherever I get 1 minus x should be positive. So I need to figure out 1 minus x in this particular expression. How do I club the terms? So just see the first two terms. No, look at the last two terms. See, you are getting 1 minus x here. Okay, so start clubbing from the last. If you start clubbing from the last term is 1 minus x. Okay, the next two terms, what is common in the next two terms? X to the power 4 is common. What is left here is 1. What is left here is x to the power 5. And then have a look at the last term, it is x to the power 12. So you can club your terms like this. Alright, now have a look at this particular expression. We know that 1 minus x has to be positive. We know that x to the power 4 is positive anyway because x is positive. Okay, and this is anyway even power. X to the power 12 is positive even power. 1 minus x5 will be positive. Why? Because x is less than 1. So anything less than 1 whole to the power 5 will be less than 1. And 1 minus that will be positive. So everything comes out to be positive. That means my expression becomes positive. For the entire domain, the expression becomes positive. That means this whole domain is my answer. So definitely I can say that x is greater than equal to 0 but less than equal to 1. This is also satisfying. Okay. So if this is also satisfying, then obviously your answers A, B, C all become wrong. So anyway you are getting the answer as D. Because complete domain तो तीनों में से किसी भी ऑप्शन में सेटिस्फाई नहीं है बिकॉज मेरा नेगेटिव सारे सही हो गए 0 से 1 सारे सही हो गए और ये दोनों बातें तो कोई भी ऑप्शन नहीं बताता. That means the complete domain has to be R. But still let us do it further. We have done up to x negative, we have done 0 to 1. Now the last region which is left with us is x greater than 1. Let us analyze this region also. If x is greater than 1, then I must immediately know that x minus 1 is positive. So wherever I subtract 1 from x, I will get positive. So now I need to regroup the terms in such a way that I get x minus 1 factors. So let's start from the first now. What is common in the first two? x9. What is left? X cube minus 1. Now what is common here? X. What is left? X cube minus 1. And the last term is 1. Have a look at this expression now. x9 is positive because x is more than 1. Okay. X cube minus 1 is positive because x is more than 1. So x cube will be more than 1. X is positive. X cube minus 1 is positive. 1 is already positive. So everything comes out to be positive. That means this whole expression is always satisfied whenever I take x greater than 1. So definitely my domain will also include x greater than 1. And now if you combine the three solutions, every negative x satisfies, 0 to 1 satisfies, more than 1 also satisfies. That means what is the correct answer to this question? It is all real numbers. This expression is a very special expression and it has been asked in exams many a times in JEE Advanced as well as mains. So you must always be careful about this type of an expression. Okay. So the domain of this expression will be R. Right, let's see the last question for today, which is question number 22. Let y be a function of x satisfying dy by dx plus y by x ln x equal to 1 by x. It's a differential equation for x greater than 0 and x not equal to 1. That is for the domain of this function. Okay. If y of 2 is 1, you have to find out y of 4. So we need to get the value of y of 4. So it's a question from differential equations plainly, right? So let us first identify what type of a differential equation is given to us. So if you just try to analyze this equation, it is a linear differential equation and it is linear in y because we have dy by dx and y in the first power. So it is a linear differential equation in y. And whenever you have such a differential equation, your first step should be to find out the integrating factor. Okay, and integrating factor क्या होता है? E की power integral p dx. That is your integrating factor, right? If you compare it with the standard form is dy by dx plus py equal to q. This was the standard form of a linear differential equation. Comparing this with this, what is the value of p here? It is 1 upon x ln x. So in place of p, I will put 1 upon x ln x. So I'll get e to the power integral dx upon x ln x. This is what is my integrating factor. So now in order to integrate this, I can use substitution, because ln x if I substitute as t, then dx by x becomes dt. So clearly my substitution works. So let me put ln x equal to t, and if I put ln x as t, I get dx upon x equal to dt. So what does my integrating factor become? Integrating factor becomes e to the power integral dt upon t. This becomes dt, this becomes t. And what is dt by t? It is ln t. And what is e to the power ln of something? It is the same input. Why? Because we know that a to the power log of x to the base a becomes x, and here ln means log to the base e. So e to the power log of x to the base e will become x. That means e की पावर में ln जैसे दिखेगा तो जो इनपुट है ln का वही बाहर आ जाएगा. Okay, so our integrating factor is t, but what was t? It was ln x. So that means my integrating factor is ln x. Now we know that the solution of this differential equation, what is the solution of this differential equation? It is y into integrating factor is equal to integral q into integrating factor dx. This is your solution of this differential equation. So let me apply it here. The solution of this differential equation, I am writing it here, solution of this differential equation is y multiplied by integrating factor, which is ln x, is equal to integration of, what is q here? If you compare this equation with this, what is the value of q here? 1 by x. So I need to write q into integrating factor. So I need to write 1 by x into ln x dx. This is what my solution should be. Now again have a look at this. This has already been integrated. Look at this integral. Again, if you see ln x, if I put as t, then dx by x again becomes dt. So again my substitution works. So let me again use the same substitution, ln x equal to t. So again I'll get dx by x equal to dt. And if I make that substitution here, I'll get y into ln x should be equal to integration of, look at this, this is t and this becomes dt. So it becomes t dt this time. And what is the integration of t dt? It is t square by 2 plus a constant of integration. Indefinite integration, so constant of integration. Now let's replace back the value of t. So we'll get y into ln x is equal to ln x ka whole square upon 2 plus c. So I've got this as my solution of this differential equation. So this is the general solution. But I don't want the general solution. I'm given that y of 2 is 1. I need y of 4. So that obviously has been given to you to find the value of c. So let us put x equal to 2, because y is a function of x. That means whatever input y is taking is x. So your x is 2 and y is 1. So let me put in this equation, I am putting x equal to 2, y equal to 1. Okay, let's put in this. What do we get? Y is 1 and x is 2. So this becomes ln 2, right, is equal to, this becomes again ln 2. So ln 2 whole square by 2 plus c. Right? So from here I'll get the value of c. What is the value of c? It is ln 2 minus ln 2 ka whole square upon 2. So this is my value of c. I need not simplify it. That's it. I'll reuse it. So this is my value of c. Now what I need to find out is y of 4. Let me do it here. Y of 4. How do I find out y of 4? For that I need to put x equal to 4 and calculate y. Right? So let me put x equal to 4 in the same differential equation. What do I get now? I'll get y, which is required, into ln 4 is equal to ln 4 whole square by 2 plus c. But what is c? C is this. Replace it here. So you will get ln 2 minus ln 2 ka whole square upon 2. This is what you get. Okay. Now let's try to simplify it a bit. We know that ln 4 is nothing but 2 ln 2, because this is 2 ka square and power comes out. So this becomes 2 ln 2. Okay. So wherever I have ln 4, I can write 2 ln 2. Just to simplify it, so I am writing this as 2y ln 2. Okay, this I will write as 2 ln 2. So this becomes 2 ln 2 ka whole square by 2 plus ln 2 minus ln 2 ka whole square by 2. Remember, this 2 cannot come out. It is the whole power. Okay. All right. Now, what about the next thing? Now, what do we get here? Now, see, one of these ln 2 I can cancel. It is common in the entire equation. So I am cancelling one of the ln 2s. Okay. So this is cancelled, this is cancelled, this is cancelled. What is left here is 1. Okay. Let me rewrite the equation now. I get 2 by here. Alright. Remember that here it was whole square. So one of the ln 2s we have cancelled, but 2 will remain square. Okay. So 2 square is 4. So what I get is 4 ln 2 by 2. One of the ln 2s remain and 2 ka square is 4. What about this? It becomes 1. What about this? It becomes ln 2 by 2. One of the ln 2s remains by 2. So we've got this much. ये 2 इससे कैंसिल हो गया. 2 ln 2 माइनस ln 2 by 2, इसको तो साथ में ले लेते हैं. 2 ln 2 माइनस ln 2 by 2 प्लस कितना हो गया 1. तो कितना आया 2 माइनस हाफ कितना हो गया 3/2 3/2 ln2 plus 1 I get this much 3/2 ln2 plus 1 what is this it is equal to 2y so what is the value of y for me it will be half of this so the final answer that I get is 3/4 ln2 plus half so that is the option which you should find in the question and that is the correct answer 3/4 ln2 plus half. So that completes the questions for today. I hope you liked them, you understood them. Now comes the challenge part. As I said that in the end of every video, I'll post 4 challenge questions. Okay. So again, I will repeat that. Please try these challenge questions whether you are preparing for JEE Mains or JEE Advanced. दोनों के लिए ही ये questions काफी अच्छे questions हैं, काफी important questions हैं और अच्छे प्रैक्टिस के लिए क्वेश्चंस हैं तो आप इनको ट्राई करिए जो भी आंसर्स आते हैं या डाउट्स आते हैं या कुछ और सजेशंस हो तो कमेंट बॉक्स में लिखिए ठीक है सो आई विल जस्ट present the 4 questions to you you can always of course pause the video and note down the questions okay all the best keep watching keep learning